The lie slipped out before I could stop it. A reckless spark in a room full of gasoline. "Yeah, how about a boyfriend?" I said, my voice steady despite the chaos in my chest, as I stared down Ethan Caldwell's smug grin across the conference table. By the end of that meeting, I'd painted myself into a corner. And now, 3 days later, I'm standing in a Manhattan bar wondering how the hell I'm going to survive the lie I told to save face. My name's Andrew Harper, 26, a junior architect at Sterling and Voss, one of New York's top firms. I'm good at my job, damn good, but Ethan, my rival since grad school, has a knack for getting under my skin. He's all sharp suits, sharper wit, and an infuriating confidence that makes my blood boil. We've been competing for years, same internships, same scholarships, same promotions. Last week, during a pitch for a major client, Ethan implied I was too distracted to handle the project, smirking like he knew something about my personal life. I don't know why I said it. Maybe it was the way his eyes gleamed with superiority, but I blurted out that I had a boyfriend, someone serious, someone who'd make Ethan's taunts look pathetic. The problem? There's no boyfriend. And now Ethan's calling my bluff. The bar, a sleek spot in Chelsea called the Lantern, buzzes with Friday night energy. I'm nursing a whiskey, scanning the crowd for a friend who might bail me out of this mess. The client dinner is tomorrow, and Ethan's been dropping hints all week, asking about my mystery man with that maddening grin. I need a plan, someone to pose as my boyfriend for one night, just to shut him up. That's when I see him, Lucas Navarro, leaning against the bar like he owns the place, all leather jacket and effortless charm. Lucas, my old college friend, the guy who's always been too good-looking for his own good, and, as fate would have it, openly gay. My heart skips. He's perfect. Andrew Harper, as I live and breathe, Lucas says, his voice warm as he slides onto the stool next to me. His dark eyes spark with mischief, and I'm reminded why we were never more than friends. He's too much of a wild card. What's with the brooding? Trouble in paradise? I laugh, but it's tight. More like trouble in my big, stupid mouth. I spill the whole story, the lie, Ethan's smugness, the looming dinner. Lucas listens, his smirk growing with every word. When I finish, he leans back, sipping his drink, and says, "So, you need a fake boyfriend to stick it to this Ethan guy. And you're looking at me like I'm your knight in shining armor. More like my knight in shining ego." I shoot back. But I'm desperate. "Lucas, I'm screwed. Will you do it? Just one night. Play the part. Make Ethan eat his words." Lucas tilts his head, studying me. "What's in it for me?" I groan. "My eternal gratitude. Free drinks for a month." He laughs. A low, rich sound that draws eyes from across the bar. Tempting, but I got a better idea. "I'll do it, but only if you admit I'm the better kisser from that one drunk night in college." My face burns. That was a dare, and it never happened. Keep telling yourself that. "Harper," he winks, and before I can argue, he's leaning in, his breath warm against my ear. I'm in, but I'm not holding back. If I'm your boyfriend, I'm going to sell it. My stomach flips, but I nod. Deal. The next evening, I'm a bundle of nerves as I adjust my tie in the mirror of my Brooklyn apartment. Lucas is picking me up, and I can't shake the feeling I've made a deal with the devil. He shows up looking like he stepped out of a magazine. Black shirt, tailored pants, that damn leather jacket. Ready to make your rival jealous? He asks, tossing me a grin that's equal parts trouble and charm. The dinner is at a swanky midtown restaurant, all glass and gold accents. Ethan's already there, schmoozing the clients, his blonde hair catching the light like he's the star of his own movie. When he sees me walk in with Lucas, his eyes narrow, but his smile doesn't falter. Andrew, he says, voice smooth as silk, and this must be the famous boyfriend. Lucas Navarro, Lucas says, extending a hand while his other arm slides around my waist, pulling me close. His touch is warm, confident, and I hate how my pulse spikes. Heard a lot about you, Ethan. Andrew says you're quite the competitor. Ethan's smile tightens, and I feel a thrill of victory. The clients, a group of execs from a tech startup, seem charmed by Lucas's easy charisma. He's a natural, spinning stories about our relationship with just enough truth to make it believable. He talks about late-night walks in Central Park, my obsession with vintage jazz records, even a fake anniversary trip to the Catskills. I'm stunned by how effortlessly he lies, his hand brushing mine under the table, sending sparks up my arm. But Ethan's not done. Halfway through dinner, he leans forward, his voice dripping with curiosity. So, Lucas, how'd you two meet? Andrew's been so tight-lipped about you. Lucas doesn't miss a beat. College. He was this shy, nerdy guy sketching buildings in a library. Took me months to get him to notice me. He glances at me, his eyes soft, and for a moment, I forget this is all fake. My throat tightens, and I force a smile, playing along. The night goes better than I could have hoped. Lucas is magnetic. The clients are eating it up, and Ethan's forced to play nice. But as we leave, Ethan pulls me aside, his voice low. He's good, Andrew. Almost too good. You sure he's not just a hired actor? I laugh it off, but his words sting. Because the truth is, I'm starting to wish this wasn't all an act. The next week at work is torture. Ethan's smugness has dialed back, but his eyes follow me, like he's waiting for me to slip up. Meanwhile, Lucas is texting me nonstop, playing the part of doting boyfriend with selfies and flirty messages that make my head spin. Gotta keep up appearances, he writes, attaching a photo of him in a coffee shop, winking at the camera. I tell myself it's all part of the game, but every time my phone buzzes, my heart does a traitorous little flip. We're not done yet. The clients loved Lucas so much they've invited us to a weekend retreat at their CEO's estate in the Hamptons. It's a chance to seal the deal on the project, and I can't say no. Lucas agrees to come, but there's a catch. We'll be sharing a room. No big deal, he says over the phone, his voice teasing. Unless you're scared you'll fall for me. Keep dreaming. Navarro, I retort, but my palms are sweaty as I hang up. The Hamptons estate is a sprawling mansion with ocean views and enough luxury to make my head spin. Lucas and I arrive in a rented convertible. His idea to sell the vibe. He's in a white linen shirt, sleeves rolled up, looking like he belongs here. I'm in chinos and a button-down, feeling like an imposter. Ethan's there too, of course, his gaze sharp as he watches us check in. You two look cozy, he says, and I can't tell if he's impressed or suspicious. The first night, there's a cocktail party on the lawn, fairy lights twinkling against the sunset. Lucas is in his element, charming everyone, his hand resting lightly on my lower back. I'm hyper-aware of every touch, every glance. When we're alone for a moment, he leans in, whispering, "You're doing great, but you gotta loosen up. Act like you're into me." I'm acting, I hiss, but my voice cracks, and he raises an eyebrow. "Sure you are." His grin is infuriating, but there's something else in his eyes, something that makes my chest tight. The night takes a turn when Ethan corners me by the bar. "You and Lucas seem close," he says, his tone probing. "But I've been thinking. You never mentioned a boyfriend before last week." Funny how he just appeared. My stomach drops. "What's your point?" "My point," Ethan says, leaning closer, "is that I don't buy it. And when I figure out what you're hiding, Andrew, you're going to wish you hadn't played this game." I force a laugh, but my mind is racing. Ethan's too smart, too relentless. If he digs, he'll find out the truth. I need to talk to Lucas. That night, in our shared room, I'm pacing as Lucas sprawls on the bed, scrolling through his phone. "Ethan's on to us," I say, running a hand through my hair. "He's going to ruin everything." Lucas sits up, his expression serious for once. Then we double down. Make it undeniable. Tomorrow, we're the most in-love couple this place has ever seen. I stare at him. "You're enjoying this, aren't you?" "Maybe a little." He stands, closing the distance between us. "But I'm doing this for you, Andrew. You want to beat this guy?" I'm all in. His sincerity catches me off guard. I nod, swallowing hard. "Okay, let's do it." The next day, we're inseparable. Lucas holds my hand during breakfast, laughs at my terrible jokes, even kisses my cheek in front of the clients. It's all so convincing that I start to lose track of what's real. By the afternoon, we're on the beach, and Lucas pulls me into the waves, both of us laughing as we stumble in the surf. For a moment, it's just us, no Ethan, no clients, no lies. His hands are on my shoulders, his smile bright, and I feel something shift inside me. Something dangerous. That night, there's a gala dinner, and Lucas is breathtaking in a tailored suit. We dance, his hand firm on my waist, and I can feel Ethan's eyes on us from across the room. But I don't care. For the first time, I'm not thinking about the lie. I'm thinking about how Lucas's laugh makes my heart race, how his touch feels like it belongs. Xi artifact equals to B881 743 C823 F69957 B64750 artifact equals 774 title equals I underscore lied underscore about underscore having underscore boyfriend underscore part 3 TXD content type equals text/plain. The retreat is a success. The clients are thrilled, and I'm almost certain we've secured the project. But Ethan's suspicion lingers like a storm cloud. On the last morning, he pulls me aside again, his voice low and cutting. "You're good, Andrew. But I'm better. I'll find out what's really going on." I brush him off, but his words haunt me on the drive back to the city. Lucas is quieter than usual, his usual banter replaced by long glances I can't quite read. When we stop for coffee, he finally speaks. "You okay? You've been weird since Ethan cornered you." "I'm fine," I lie, but my voice is tight. I don't know how much longer we can keep this up. Lucas studies me, his expression unreadable. "Do you want to stop?" The question hangs in the air. I should say yes. This was always temporary, a means to an end. But the thought of going back to my life without Lucas's teasing texts, his easy touches, makes my chest ache. I don't know, I admit, and it's the most honest thing I've said in weeks. Back in New York, work is a blur. Ethan's digging. I can tell his questions are sharper. His smile's colder. I'm paranoid, jumping every time my phone buzzes, expecting him to call me out. Lucas, meanwhile, keeps up the charade, showing up at my office with coffee, walking me home after late nights. It's too easy to fall into the rhythm of it, to let myself believe it's real. One night, we're in my apartment, sprawled on the couch with takeout. Lucas is telling a story about his job as a freelance photographer. His hands animated, his laugh infectious. I'm watching him, and suddenly, I can't stop myself. Why are you doing this? I ask. You could have said no. Why go all in for me? He pauses, his eyes locking onto mine. Because I see you, Andrew. The real you, not the guy who's always trying to prove himself. And I like what I see. My breath catches. Before I can respond, he leans in, his lips brushing mine. It's soft, tentative, nothing like the show we've been putting on. And it's real. I kiss him back, my hands finding his face, and for a moment, the world disappears. But reality crashes in the next morning when Ethan sends me an email. It's a single line, I know the truth. Attached is a photo of me and Lucas from college, years before my lie, with a timestamp that proves we weren't together then. My heart sinks. The game is up. I'm shaking as I read Ethan's email again, the photo staring back at me like a guilty verdict. Lucas is in the kitchen, making coffee, oblivious to the bomb that just dropped. I want to tell him, but the words stick in my throat. What does Ethan know? How much? And what will he do with it? I meet Ethan for lunch at a diner near the office. My stomach in knots. He's already there, sipping coffee, his expression infuriatingly calm. You've got some explaining to do. Harper, he says as I slide into the booth. Cut to the chase, I snap, my voice sharper than I intend. What do you want? Ethan leans back, his eyes gleaming. I want the truth. You and Lucas aren't together. You lied to make yourself look better, and now you're parading him around like some trophy. It's pathetic. My face burns, but I don't deny it. What's it to you? Why do you care? Because I don't like being played, he says, his voice low. And because I know you, Andrew, you're better than this. Or at least, I thought you were. His words hit harder than I expect. I've spent years hating Ethan, competing with him. But there's a flicker of something else in his tone, disappointment, maybe even concern. I shake it off. If you're going to tell the clients, just do it. Ethan smirks, but it's not cruel. I'm not telling anyone. Yet. But you need to come clean. Or I will. I'll leave the diner with my head spinning. I can't lose this project. Not after everything. But more than that, I can't stop thinking about Lucas. About that kiss. About the way he makes me feel alive in a way I haven't in years. I need to tell him the truth about the lie, about my feelings, about everything. That night, I ask Lucas to meet me at the Lantern. He shows up looking worried, his usual swagger tempered by the tension in my voice. What's wrong, he asks, sliding into the booth across from me. I take a deep breath and spill everything. Ethan's email, the photo, the threat. Lucas listens, his face unreadable. When I finish, he leans back, running a hand through his hair. So, what now? You want to keep up the act? Or are we done? The question cuts deep. I want to say I'm done, that I can't keep lying. But the truth is, I don't want to lose him. I don't know, I say, my voice breaking. I didn't expect this. I didn't expect to feel anything. Lucas's eyes soften. Andrew, I've been playing along because I wanted to help you. But somewhere along the way, it stopped being a game for me. My heart stops. What are you saying? I'm saying I'm falling for you. Idiot. He laughs. But it's shaky. And I think you're falling for me too. Lucas's confession hangs in the air, heavy and electric. I want to kiss him, to tell him he's right. But fear claws at me. What if this is just the heat of the moment? What if I'm not ready to face what this means? I've spent so long hiding parts of myself, even from myself, that the idea of being this vulnerable terrifies me. I need time, I say finally, my voice barely above a whisper. Lucas nods, his expression a mix of hope and hurt, and leaves me with a soft, "Take all the time you need. The next few days are agony." Ethan's deadline looms. He's given me a week to come clean before he tells the clients. I throw myself into work, trying to focus on the project, but my mind keeps drifting to Lucas. His laugh, his touch, the way he sees through my defenses. I've never been in love. Not really, but this feels dangerously close. I call my best friend, Mia, for advice. She's known me since high school, seen me through every awkward phase and bad decision. Over coffee in Brooklyn, I tell her everything. Andrew, she says, her voice gentle but firm, you've been running from yourself for years. This lie, this rivalry with Ethan, it's all a distraction. You like Lucas. Maybe you always have. Stop fighting it. Her words hit like a punch. She's right. I've been so focused on proving myself, to Ethan, to the world, that I've ignored what I really want. But coming clean means risking everything, the project, my reputation, my heart. I decide to tell Lucas the truth. I invite him to my apartment, my hand shaking as I open the door. He's there, looking as nervous as I feel, his leather jacket slung over one shoulder. I'm sorry, I start, the words tumbling out. I lied to Ethan, to everyone, and I dragged you into it. But the biggest lie was to myself. I've been scared to admit how I feel about you. Lucas steps closer, his eyes searching mine. And how do you feel? I'm falling for you, I say, my voice raw. And it scares the hell out of me. He smiles, soft and real, and pulls me into a kiss that feels like coming home. For the first time, I let myself believe this could be real. But Ethan's threat still looms. I know I have to face him, to end this once and for all. The final showdown with Ethan happens in the office, the day before the client presentation. I ask him to meet me in the conference room, my heart pounding as I lay out the truth. You're right, I say, meeting his gaze. I lied about having a boyfriend. Lucas was a friend doing me a favor. But it's not a lie anymore. I love him. Ethan blinks, caught off guard. For once, his smugness is gone, replaced by something like respect. You're admitting it? Just like that. I'm done hiding, I say, and it feels like a weight lifting. Tell the clients if you want. But this is who I am. To my surprise, Ethan doesn't gloat. He nods, almost thoughtful. I won't tell. You got guts, Harper. More than I gave you credit for. The presentation goes better than I could have hoped. The clients love our designs, and I feel a pride that has nothing to do with beating Ethan. Afterward, Lucas is waiting for me outside the office, leaning against a lamppost, his smile brighter than the city lights. "Heard you killed it," he says, pulling me into a hug. "I told Ethan everything," I say, my voice muffled against his shoulder. "And I told him about us." Lucas pulls back, his eyes wide. "Us? Yeah," I say, grinning. "If you're still in." He laughs, kissing me right there on the sidewalk. And for the first time, I don't care who sees. The lie that started this mess led me to something real, something worth fighting for. And as we walk hand in hand through the city, I know I've found more than a boyfriend. I found myself. This story isn't just about love, it's about courage. About owning your truth, even when it's messy, even when it's terrifying. Andrew and Lucas's journey shows that sometimes the lies we tell to protect ourselves can lead us to the people and the truths that set us free.